Part the First, Chapter 1 of Dick Sands, the Boy Captain. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Alex C. Telander. Dick Sands, the Boy Captain, by Jules Verne. Translated by Ellen E. Frewer. Part the First, Chapter 1. The Pilgrim. On the 2nd of February, 1873, the Pilgrim, a tight little craft of 400 tons burden, lay in latitude 43 degrees 57 minutes south and longitude 165 degrees 19 minutes west. She was a schooner, the property of James W. Weldon, a wealthy Californian ship-owner, who had fitted her out at San Francisco, expressly for the whale fisheries in the southern seas. James Weldon was accustomed every season to send his whalers both to the Arctic regions beyond Bering Straits and to the Antarctic Ocean below Tasmania and Cape Horn, and the Pilgrim, although one of the smallest, was one of the best-going vessels of its class. Her sailing powers were splendid, and her rigging was so adroitly adapted that with a very small crew she might venture without risk within sight of the impenetrable ice fields of the southern hemisphere. Under skilful guidance she could dauntlessly thread her way amongst the drifting icebergs that, lessened though they were by perpetual shocks and undermined by warm currents, made their way northwards as far as the parallel of New Zealand or the Cape of Good Hope, to a latitude corresponding to which in the northern hemisphere they are never seen, having already melted away in the depths of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. For several years the command of the Pilgrim had been entrusted to Captain Hull, an experienced seaman and one of the most dexterous harpooners in Weldon's service. The crew consisted of 5 sailors and an apprentice. This number, of course, was quite insufficient for the process of whale fishing, which requires a large contingent both for manning the whale boats and for cutting up the whales after they are captured. But Weldon, following the example of the other owners, found it more economical to embark at San Francisco only just enough men to work the ship to New Zealand, where, from the promiscuous gathering of seamen of well nigh every nationality, and of needy immigrants, the captain had no difficulty in engaging as many whalemen as he wanted for the season. This method of hiring men who could at once be discharged when their services were no longer required had proved altogether to be the most profitable and convenient. The Pilgrim had now just completed her annual voyage to the Antarctic Circle. It was not, however, with her proper quota of oil barrels full to the brim, nor yet with an ample cargo of cut and uncut whalebone, but she was thus far on her way back. The time, indeed, for a good haul was past. The repeated and vigorous attacks upon the cetaceans had made them very scarce. The whale known as the right whale, the Nordkappe of the northern fisheries, the sulphur boltone of the southern, was hardly ever to be seen, and latterly the whalers had had no alternative but to direct their efforts against the finback or eubart, a gigantic mammal, encounter with which is always attended with considerable danger. So scanty this year had been the supply of whales that Captain Hull had resolved next year to push his way into...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?